Hello students and welcome to the class of economics. Myself Mrs. Hansa Pawar from New Catholic Mission School Jhabua, and today we will be studying I will be teaching you same chapter first of economics. As you all know, we have already started this chapter first of microeconomics, your book, and chapter 1 we have started. Now we are moving to the second part of our video of this particular chapter 1, and we are going to cover these two topics today, that is central problems of an economy and opportunity cost. I hope the central problems of an economy, you have studied this already in social studies, but now as far as economics is concerned, now in higher secondary section, that is 11th class, you have something different here. Now the central problems of an economy, as we say that whether it is the economy of the country, whether it is rich country, a poor country, developed country or an underdeveloped country, all the countries or all the economies of the countries are actually facing these three central problems, and these central problems are what to produce, how to produce and for whom to produce. Okay. Now starting with the first problem, that is central problems of an economy, what to produce. As the name suggests, that is what kind of goods to produce. As we all know that in an economy there are production of goods and services. Goods का भी production हो रहा है और services का भी production हो रहा है. Okay. Now the country needs to decide कि what should be produced. That means what kind of goods should be produced. If we say kind of goods, there are two kinds of goods. It is consumer goods and capital goods. What are consumer goods? Anything. Pen, ink, sugar, ghee, cloth, all these are consumer goods. There are various consumer goods. When we talk about capital goods, it is machineries, equipments, tools which are used for the production of consumer goods. That is capital goods. Or we can say that it can be consumer goods or civic goods and war goods. When we say war goods means it can be rifles, tanks, guns which are required during the war or during the battle. Okay. So the first and foremost problem of every economy is to decide what goods and services should be produced. That means according to the needs, to satisfy various needs of the people of the country, the society or the economy needs to decide that what kind of goods to be produced so as to satisfy the maximum wants of the people and also its quantity and proportion. That means in this problem the country needs to decide two things, what should be produced and what should be its quantity. That means क्या प्रोड्यूस करना है और उसकी क्वांटिटी यानी प्रपोर्शन क्या होना चाहिए, दोनों चीज़ें. ओके. बट एन इकोनॉमी ऑफ अ कंट्री cannot produce all goods and services. That means any economy of any country cannot produce all the goods and services whatever people wants. They cannot satisfy all the needs of the people. It's not possible. But because it has limited scarce resources, that means we have actually, all the economy of the country are facing this problem, that we have a shortage of resources. That is, resources are limited in terms of the increasing demand. Wants are unlimited but resources are limited. What are resources? Resources which we need to make a product or to fulfill or to complete the production, that is raw materials. It can be all the factors of production, land, labor, capital, organization. So resources to make a product, these are limited. So the country needs to decide ki what kind of goods to be produced. Say for example any raw material, okay, it is very scarce, it is very limited. Now you need to decide that where to put these resources to make goods A or goods B or goods C or so on. So, but an economy of a country cannot produce all goods and services because resources are limited. So economy has to make a choice. Now at this moment the economy needs to make a choice between whether to produce good A, good B, good C or so on, because resources to make that goods are very limited. So they need to make a choice between various goods and services. For example, if a farmer, say for example if a farmer is there, he has a single piece of land. Now he needs to decide whether to grow wheat, rice, any other grains or any other vegetable. Okay, so he needs to decide ki in this piece of land I should grow wheat or any other grain or any other crop, or what should be the proportion, that is quantity. If a farmer needs to grow 2 crops or 2 grains, it can be wheat and rice. So he needs to decide about the proportion or quantity which he will decide for this particular land, 80% for wheat and 20% for rice, or it can be 50% wheat he will grow in that piece of land and 50% rice, or it can be 60-40 ratio, 80-20 ratio, 50-50 ratio. According to him, he will decide, he will make a choice as a farmer that I should grow what kind of goods and how much, that is what should be the quantity, what to produce and what should be the quantity. So to make a choice between various goods, he has to make a choice between 2 goods, whether to grow wheat or rice. Similarly, our economy has to decide. In the same way, economy of our country, they needs to decide ki whether to produce consumer goods like sugar, cloth, pen, wheat, etc., or capital goods like machines, tractors, etc. Similarly, the country or the government of the country needs to decide, needs to make choice between 2 goods. As I said earlier, it can be consumer goods or it can be war goods. War goods can be rifles, guns, tanks, etc. So the economy has this one central problem, first central problem, that is what to produce between consumer and capital goods and how much quantity needs to be produced, so that they can maximize the satisfaction of all the people. They can satisfy every person in the country. When an economy has taken decision, now in the same problem, when economy has taken decisions regarding what goods to produce, now the second thing is it has to decide about the quantity, that is how much quantity needs to be produced, how much of consumer goods and how much of capital goods needs to be produced. For instance, production of more wheat, that means if the country decides that we will produce more of consumer goods, it can be wheat. We can take an example that it is wheat as in consumer goods. If the economy needs to produce more of wheat, then it means less of machine goods, that is less of the capital goods, that is machines. So if country needs to decide that they will grow more or they will produce more consumer goods because resources are limited, then they will lessen the quantity of the capital goods. Or if they produce more of capital goods, that is machines, equipments, war goods, then they will concentrate or they will use the resources because it is very limited. They will lessen or the quantity of the or reduce the quantity of the consumer goods. In both the cases, the satisfaction of the people will decline. Why? People will not be satisfied. They want everything. They want consumer goods also, and capital goods is also the need of the economy. Now second problem is after what to produce, second is how to produce. When we say how, it actually refers to the technique, the method to produce goods and services. There are basically 2 methods of producing any good or any services. It can be man-made, that is manually, or it can be with the help of machines, or we can broadly call it labor intensive technique. Labor intensive technique, that means where more of labor is used and less of machines. Fully work is done manually, that is with the help of workers, human beings, laborers only. When we say capital intensive technique, second technique, capital intensive technique means where we are using more of capital goods and less of labors. That means the work is done fully with the help of machines, very less or minimum workers or laborers are required. So there are 2 techniques. The second main problem of an economy is how to produce. It refers to the choice of technique. Here also the economy needs to make a choice. Same way we did in what to produce. The economy has decided whether to produce consumer goods or capital goods. Now here in how to produce, again the economy needs to make choice. That is which kind of technique is to be used. Technique means method of producing the thing. There are mainly 2 techniques, that is labor intensive technique where more of labor is used and less of machine. This technology actually promotes employment. That means, say for example, in our country we have abundance of workforce. Population is very much, okay. Our population is day by day increasing. So we have abundance of employment opportunities, many people who are unemployed. So if our country or our economy decides to go with labor intensive technique, that means many people who are unemployed will get the employment. That means through labor intensive technique, it is promoting the employment opportunities. People will not be unemployed. Why? Because of labor intensive technique in industries and firms which are using, so many people who are getting the employment. So it is actually promoting the employment opportunities. When we say capital intensive techniques, there we are using more of machines and less of laborers. It is more of machines and less of labor. This technique promotes efficiency and growth. Because of this particular technique, our economy can develop. Efficiency of the machines, because machines efficiency is more than the efficiency of the laborers, we think so. So the growth of the economy can be possible, efficiency will be increasing. The economy needs to decide as to which technique is to be used, so that production could be more at less cost and there must be maximum utilization of resources. That means when the economy takes a decision whether to use go with labor intensive technique or capital intensive technique, they need to take care of one thing, that whatever technique they are using, it will result in maximum profit, reduce the cost and maximum utilization of the resources. Three things should be there. That is, the resources must be used at maximum, okay. Best utilization of resources could be done because they are very scarce. So we need to use those limited resources in the best way, okay. So maximum utilization of resources, it should reduce the cost, that means expenses of production or expenses over production should be reduced, and with that more and more profit could be gained by the industries and firm. For example, production of cloth, like textile industries, what they are doing, we can produce clothes in two ways. We can use labor intensive technique, yani through manually, that is handloom industries, okay. So we can either by handlooms we can produce the cloth, that is manually, or either by modern machines. So the economy needs to decide ki between these two methods, that is handloom or by machines, cloth can be made, which is the best one, which can reduce the cost and which can maximum utilize the resources and can have a proper or maximum gain. So those countries who has abundance of labor, they can actually utilize their labor force or workforce and can use labor intensive technique. Those countries, and they will generate employment opportunities also and reduce unemployment. For example, countries like China, India, etc. are actually using more and more labor intensive technique. Why? Because as I said that our population is very much, okay, it's increasing. So more and more labor force or workforce is available to us. Even with that we have abundance of resources also. So we are maximum utilizing our labor force and workforce. That is why many industries and firms are now in present time also they are using labor intensive technique. But countries like USA, those who are developed countries, USA and other such countries, they are actually using capital intensive technique because in comparison to resources, the population is very limited. So they are maximum utilizing the machines for the process of productions. So it depends on the economy of the country whether to go with capital intensive or labor intensive technique. Now third problem is for whom to produce. When we say for whom means, actually in our society or in an economy there are two sections of the society, rich and the poor section of the society. Again if we subdivide them, we can have many sections. It can be rich section, that is upper section, middle section and lower section. In middle section also there are again divisions, lower middle class and upper middle class. So if we see broadly, we can have various division in our society. According, and these sections of the society are according to their availability of wealth, their income. Those whose income is more, they are in the category of rich people. Those whose income is like same way, so they are in middle section, and those whose income is very less, they are belonging to poor section of the society. So as I said that our society is divided into various sections. Now the economy cannot produce goods for satisfying all the section of the society, it's very impossible, okay. So broadly every economy has two sections, rich and the poor. Therefore economy has to make decision that who should get how much of the total output of goods and services. That means whatever goods and services are produced in the nation, that is gross domestic product. So they need to decide that how much should be given to rich section, how much should be given to the poor section, okay. economy has to make choice of whether luxury goods more, whether to produce more of luxury goods for rich people or more of normal goods. Normal goods means the goods of necessity nature, that is the necessary goods like food, clothing, shelter, education, water and so many other things. So these are considered in the necessary items, okay. So whether to go with more, produce more of luxury goods. If they are producing more luxury goods, that means they are taking care of only the rich section of the society, okay. Then the condition of poor section will be more backward, more worst. So they need to take care of the poor section of the society also, that is the government or the economy needs to decide about the poor section of also. So they need to produce certain normal goods also with them, for them. If more of normal goods are produced taking care of poor section, then social justice, social welfare could be promoted. That means the country or the economy is taking care of the poor people also. According to them, they are making cheap goods, okay, so that it will be affordable, it will be reasonable for the poor people to purchase those goods and can satisfy their needs. And if more of luxury goods are made for rich section, then it would result in inequality in the society. Now here inequality means inequality of distribution of income and wealth. Only rich section is taken care by the country, so that the condition of other people or those who are belonging to poor section will become very worse and country could not grow or develop because of it. If the firm produces more goods for the poor section, then the profit of the producer remain low. That means if the country is taking care of only the poor section of the society, that means producing those kinds of goods which are at low rate or low prices charged in the market, then the producer will not gain anything. For gaining profit, he needs to increase the price, and because these normal goods which are made for poor sections, so they need to make it affordable for the poor people. So if they will decrease the price, then their gain or profit will be low, and low profit means low investment. When the profit which is earned by the industrialist or firms, it is low, then it will result in low investment, and which implies low growth in GDP, that is gross domestic product. Our production will be less. Why? Because the industrialist will think that if I am keep on producing normal goods, goods of low quality, cheaper price, cheaper rate, then I am not going to enjoy any profit, and because of that he will invest less in the firm, in the business, and it will result in low growth in GDP, and it will result in the backwardness of the economy. So the economy of the country needs to take proper decision whether to produce what, okay, and for whom to produce, what to produce, how to produce, that is technique, and for whom to produce. Now next topic is opportunity cost, that is our last topic. When we say opportunity cost means expenses, okay, as a commerce student you should know about cost, expenses, okay, whichever we are producing, whichever we are incurring on certain things. Now when we say opportunity, opportunity means a chance. Now what is opportunity cost? As resources are scarce, so every resources can be put to alternative uses, or the society is forced to make choices between various goods. That means this resources can be used to produce more of one good. Obviously the amount of other good has to be sacrificed. Let me give you an example. See, if we say, if a farmer, if I have a piece of land, not farmer, okay, if I am owing a piece of land, so I have alternate decisions. I can make choices that how I am going to use that piece of land. Either I can construct a house for my family, for myself, or either I can build a factory, an industry, a shop, or anything else, a hotel or a restaurant. So there are various alternate decision, alternate choices are there, opportunities are there, so many choices are there available for me how to use that piece of land. Okay. So if either you can use that piece of land for building a factory, or either I can use that piece of land for building my house. If we build a factory, that means if I am going to build a factory or construct a factory on that piece of land, then the opportunity cost of the factory which I am going to build will be the cost of the next best alternative foregone. And what is the next best alternative? Foregone means which is gone, okay, which I have sacrificed for gaining the factory. That means if on that piece of land I want to build a factory, that will be my first choice. So I will go with building a factory, okay, but I am not going with building a house, which is my second best choice, either to build factory or house. So if I am going to build a factory, then opportunity cost of building that factory will be the cost of the making or building a house. Now let me explain you another way. As we say that in economy resources are very scarce, they are very limited. So the government or the society needs to decide how to utilize that resources. That resources can be put to various uses. Say for example, if I have 10 rupees or 100 rupees in my hand, I can use or utilize that money for various purpose. I can enjoy a good food in a restaurant, I can enjoy a movie, or I can spend anywhere. There are various options for me. This is me, or I will decide that how I am going to use this 100 rupees note or 100 rupees money. Okay, if I am using this for having certain food or lunch, that means I am going to satisfy myself. If I am fully satisfied with the food, I want that only, so I will go with satisfying my need for hunger, that is. So this scarce resources can be used to produce more of one good. Obviously the amount of other good has to be sacrificed. That means if I am making choice of enjoying food with that 100 rupees, then I can have some other option also, that is enjoying a movie. If I am enjoying food, then I am sacrificing the movie for it. So what is the cost of enjoying the food, opportunity cost of enjoying the food? That will be the cost which I have sacrificed for movie. So if we make a choice for one alternative, then we need to sacrifice the other best alternative. The amount of other goods that must be sacrificed to obtain some other need or more of any one good is called an opportunity cost of that good. That means if I am going, like I have given example, that if I am going to construct a construct a factory there, so the opportunity cost of the factory will be the cost which I have foregone or which I have sacrificed, and that was the cost of the house, building a house. Like again one more example, suppose you have 45,000 rupees in your hand and you want to purchase, you have two options. Okay, you wanted to purchase two things, a laptop and an LED TV. Okay, now with this 45,000 you cannot purchase both. That means you need to make a choice between a laptop or a LED TV. If with only 45,000 in your hand, you cannot have both. If you decide to purchase a laptop, that means with that 45,000 rupees in your hand, if you decide to purchase a laptop, then opportunity cost of choosing the laptop, that means selecting the laptop, is the cost of foregone satisfaction which you can get from LED TV. That means अगर आप लैपटॉप खरीदना चाहते हैं तो लैपटॉप का जो अपॉर्चुनिटी कॉस्ट होगा वो कॉस्ट क्या होगा, द कॉस्ट ऑफ द नेक्स्ट बेस्ट अल्टरनेटिव, और वो नेक्स्ट बेस्ट अल्टरनेटिव आपका चॉइस क्या था, एलईडी टीवी परचेज करना. ओके, सो व्हाट इज अपॉर्चुनिटी कॉस्ट, द कॉस्ट विच वी आर सैक्रिफाइसिंग, the second choice, the next best alternative which we are sacrificing. Like if as a student, if you have chosen commerce, okay, you wanted to have maths, you have wanted to have bio, say for example, after passing 10th you have two choices. Say for example, you have many choices but you have two choices, you wanted to have commerce and you wanted to have bio also, but both the subjects you cannot have. So what you did, you select or you made a choice or make a decision that you will go with commerce stream. You have selected commerce stream. So what was the next best stream which you would have taken? That was biology. Okay, so if you have selected commerce, then the opportunity cost of commerce will be the cost of the next best alternative. That was your subject bio. It was an example only. So this example states that as our resources are very limited, resources are very scarce, we are forced to make choice between various alternative commodities. That means we are forced to make choices between commodities because our resources are very scarce. If the same person must be having 90,000 or 1 lakh in his hand, he can have both, he can satisfy both the needs, laptop also and LED also. But since the resources are scarce, and what is the resource here? Money, to purchase both the things, laptop and LED. Since the money he has, it is very limited, So he must take decision between the both of the goods. That means he must select only one. So he went with purchasing laptop. Then the sacrificed cost or opportunity cost will be the cost of LED. Okay, so dear students, I hope I could make you feel good and you have understand the topic. Just please, I request you again, go through the video again and again and see all the things that will be able to help you in understanding the chapter. Now this is time to wind up the class. Meeting you in the next video.